Skirmish. Meaning, 1. To fight for a short time with a small group of people. 2. To argue for a short time. Examples: police and protesters skirmished in the chilly rain. Rebels skirmished with nearby American forces. The parties skirmished about attorney fees. Be endowed with. Meaning, to have a particular quality or feature. Examples: some lucky people are endowed with both brains and beauty. Sardinia is generously endowed with prehistoric sites. Australia is well endowed with uranium resources, boasting one of the biggest reserves in the world at Olympic Dam. Undermine. Meaning, lessen the effectiveness, power, or ability of, especially gradually or insidiously. Examples: the president has accused 2 cabinet members of working secretly to undermine his position/him. Suddenly she just turned on me and accused me of undermining her. If you continually criticize children, you can seriously undermine their confidence. Grate on someone. Meaning, to annoy someone, to bother someone. Examples: your negative attitude really grates on me. Everything you say grates on me. My obnoxious brother is grating on my nerves. Your whining really grates on me. Her snarky comments are really starting to grate on me. Die down. Meaning, if something dies down, it becomes much less noisy, powerful, or active. Examples: I waited for the laughter to die down before I spoke. The wind died down during the night. It was several minutes before the applause died down. Grounding. Meaning, a knowledge of the basic facts about a particular subject. Examples: this course is designed to give drivers a grounding in car maintenance. His degree gave him a firm grounding in his field. You need a good grounding in mathematics for this type of work. Bitter pill to swallow. Meaning, an unpleasant fact or situation that is difficult to accept. Examples: the truth about her family had been a bitter pill to swallow. When Brett's parents stopped giving him money to pay his bills and told him to get a job, it was a bitter pill for him to swallow. Getting a poor performance review was a bitter pill to swallow. Make a comeback. Meaning, to achieve a success after retirement or failure. Examples: after being down 5 goals at the start of the third period, they made a remarkable comeback and tied the game with mere seconds to spare. After analysts predicted her campaign was dead in the water 2 months ago, the candidate appears to be making an incredible comeback. You're never too old to make a comeback. Curb. Meaning, to control or limit something that is not wanted. Examples: the government should act to curb tax evasion. You must try to put a curb on your bad temper/spending habits. The police are trying to curb underage drinking. Head off. Meaning, 1. To try to stop something from happening. 2. To prevent someone from going somewhere by getting in front of them. 3. To leave a place, set off. Examples: I'm calling the editor now to head off this story before they print it. 1. Let's try and head them off before they cross the bridge. 2. Louise just headed off to the store, but you can probably still catch her, if you leave now. 3. I think I can head her off before she reaches the police station. Give someone a dose, a taste, of their own medicine. Meaning, give someone the same bad treatment that they have given to others. Examples: Bill is always excluding me from things, so I'm going to give him a taste of his own medicine and not invite him to my party. This team likes to play tough defense, so let's give them a taste of their own medicine and not give them any space to score. The famously aggressive interviewer was given a taste of his own medicine today when one caller asked him a series of very direct questions. Skeptical. Meaning, not easily convinced, having doubts or reservations. Examples: the public were deeply skeptical about some of the proposals. Ruth is convinced that it's a good idea, but I'm deeply skeptical. I've always been skeptical about alternative therapies. Turmoil. Meaning, a state of great disturbance, confusion, or uncertainty. Examples: the country is in a state of political turmoil. The stock exchange is in turmoil following a huge wave of selling. Her mind was in turmoil. She grew up in the turmoil of the 1960s. Time out. meaning, a short period in which a child has to stop an activity as a punishment for behaving badly. 2. A brief pause, break, or hiatus from something. Examples: his dad put him in a timeout for telling lies. If you keep throwing your toys like that, I'm going to give you a timeout. I wish I had taken time out before starting this job, that might have kept me from getting burned out so quickly. Take time out for lunch. Work will still be here when you get back. Dabble. Meaning, take part in an activity in a casual or superficial way. Examples: he first dabbled in politics when he was at law school. She dabbled with drugs at university. When he was younger he dabbled in astrology. Dark horse. Meaning, someone who unexpectedly wins a competition. Someone who surprises others with their skills or talents. Examples: nobody thought Cherie could win the race after breaking her leg last year, but she turned out to be a dark horse and took first place. No one thought the brash newcomer would be a threat to the established candidates, but he's turning out to be a real dark horse in this campaign. Angela was suddenly viewed as a dark horse when she displayed her beautiful sculptures at the art fair. Nobody knew she had such artistic talent. Embark on. Meaning, to start a new project or activity, usually one that will take time. Examples: after leaving college, Lucy embarked on an acting career. The new government embarked upon an energetic legislative program. I want to go back to school for a business degree. I plan to embark on that process this fall. Turn over a new leaf. Meaning, to change one's behavior, usually in a positive way. To begin again, fresh, to reform and begin again. Examples: Jason has really turned over a new leaf. He hasn't been in the slightest bit of trouble in months. I have made a mess of my life. I'll turn over a new leaf and hope to do better. Why don't you turn over a new leaf and surprise everyone with your good characteristics? Spill the beans. Meaning, to reveal something that was meant to be a secret. Examples: we had everything organized for Bruce's surprise party, but Kate accidentally spilled the beans to him at work. Come on, spill the beans. Whose fault was it? So who spilled the beans about her affair with David? Rub it in. Meaning, to keep reminding one of one's failures, to nag someone about something. Examples: you deserve it. Why do you have to rub in everything I do wrong? You know that this means you won't get to qualify for the state championships, right? B. Sheesh. No need to rub it in, Dave. Yes, I know you're going to Japan with the money you won in the lottery. You don't need to rub it in. Bang one's head against a brick wall. Meaning, to do, say, or ask for something repeatedly but to be unable to change a situation. Examples: some people are never going to agree with you on this, so it's no use beating your head against a wall trying to convince everyone. I keep asking her not to park there, but it's like banging my head against a brick wall. I've been beating my head against the wall trying to understand this math equation. Thrive. Meaning, to grow vigorously, flourish. To be successful or make steady progress, prosper. Examples: industries such as water, telecoms, and insurance have been thriving. Children thrive when given plenty of love and attention. This type of plant thrives in cool conditions. Lift a finger. Meaning, make the slightest effort to do something, especially to help someone. Examples: I clean every weekend, and you never lift a finger to help. I know you're watching TV, but can you perhaps lift a finger and help me bring in these grocery bags? If the public does not care much for the interests of the press, it will not lift a finger to save a politician from sexual embarrassment. Overwhelm. Meaning, one to defeat someone or something by using a lot of force. To be too much to deal with. To cause someone to feel sudden strong emotion. Examples: they were overwhelmed with by grief when their baby died. Government troops have overwhelmed the rebels and seized control of the capital. They were overwhelmed with by grief when their baby died. I was overwhelmed by all the flowers and letters of support I received. Plight. Meaning, an unpleasant condition, especially a serious, sad, or difficult one. Examples: few of us can be unmoved by the plight of the refugees. My problems aren't much compared with the plight of the storm victims. We must direct our efforts towards relieving the plight of children living in poverty. Teething problems. Meaning, problems encountered during the initial part of a process. Examples: our supply line issues are just teething problems. Once we get the process streamlined, we'll be fine. Some teething troubles aside, the new computer system works well. There are bound to be teething problems in a new marriage. Show someone the ropes. Meaning, to explain or demonstrate to one how to do or perform a task or activity. Examples: I know there's a lot to take in, but your partner has been here for over 10 years and will show you the ropes. This class is intense. You're expected to know how to do everything from day one, without anyone showing you the ropes. Lynn spent an afternoon showing the new girl the ropes. Grim. Meaning, worrying/worried, without hope, serious or sad. Examples: I divined from his grim expression that the news was not good. Experts have been giving grim predictions for the future of the company. Later Mr. Ashby left the court, grim-faced and silent. Harassment. Meaning, noun, behavior that annoys or upsets someone like threats, offensive remarks, or physical attacks. Examples: they face daily harassment and assault on the streets. The company investigated claims of workplace harassment and racial discrimination. The UN cannot tolerate the continuing harassment of peacekeeping soldiers. In hindsight/retrospect. Meaning, looking backward, reflecting on the past. Reconsidering the past with the knowledge one now has. Antonym: foresight. Examples: in retrospect, we shouldn't have invested so heavily in one sector, but there's no way we could have known about some of the risks. In hindsight, we all wish that at various times in our lives we would have made different choices. Also problematic is that research indicates that, in hindsight, people consistently exaggerate what could have been anticipated in foresight. Viable. Meaning, capable of success or continuing effectiveness, practicable. Examples: so obviously, the government will have to think of ways and means to ensure that these accounts, once they come in, become commercially viable accounts. He envisions two possibly viable paths: splitting and resistance. Shutting the border is not a viable solution. Strapped for cash. Meaning, without any or very much money at the moment, broke temporarily. Examples: my brother always complains that he's strapped for cash, but it's no surprise when he won't go find a job. Would you mind covering the cost of dinner? I'm a little strapped for cash at the moment. 4 in 10 social housing tenants on benefits skip meals because they're so strapped for cash. Plausible. Meaning, one likely to be true. 2 Someone who is plausible seems to be honest and sincere, even though they may not be. Examples: a bomb was the only plausible explanation for the crash. The story was plausible, but that didn't necessarily mean it was true. Yes, liar was precisely chosen because he was such an accomplished and plausible liar. He smiled grimly and replied, yes, he is a plausible rascal, but if you should happen to meet him again, I advise you to keep your pockets buttoned. Untoward. Meaning, unexpected and inappropriate or inconvenient. Examples: both tried to behave as if nothing untoward had happened. Unless anything untoward happens, we should arrive just before midday. Unfortunately, such responses may run afoul of modern laws that aim to constrain untoward behavior. Another young journalist made a few untoward remarks about Richard. Be doomed to. Meaning, likely to have an unfortunate and inescapable outcome, ill-fated. Examples: financial markets are neither rational nor efficient, and any investment strategy that ignores that fact is doomed to failure. Those intentions defy prediction, and the individual who tries to do so is doomed to lose. Jolene knew she was already doomed to suffer heartache if she chose to remain with Reynard. Embellish. Meaning, to add or change some details of a story, usually to make it more interesting or exciting. Examples: he couldn't resist embellishing the story of his accident a little. He sometimes had to embellish the facts in order to, as he saw it, highlight the truth. There were claims the candidate had embellished his war record. Hamper. Meaning, to prevent someone doing something easily. Examples: fierce storms have been hampering rescue efforts and there is now little chance of finding more survivors. I tried to run away but I was hampered by my long dress. The investigation was hampered by their lack of cooperation. Linger. Meaning, 1 to take a long time to leave or disappear. 2 to spend a long time over something. Examples: the smell from the fire still lingered days later. It's impossible to forget such horrific events, they linger on in the memory forever. Time will be extremely tight in this exam, so don't linger over questions you can't figure out. With how frantic life is these days, I think it's important to linger over things we enjoy, such as good food or drinks. Alleged. Meaning, said or thought by some people to be the stated bad or illegal thing, although you have no proof. Examples: the place where the alleged offenses were committed. It took 15 years for the alleged criminals to prove their innocence. Race-related violence has often been spurred by false rumors, generally pointing to alleged conspiracies by one group against another. Shattered meaning, 1 broken into very small pieces. 2 extremely upset, impaired, or destroyed. Examples: shattered glass lay all over the road. The family were shattered by the news of Annabelle's suicide. We feel emotionally shattered by what's happened. At 9:20 I was gaunt and grey, my nerves were shattered, and my heart was broken. Blurred. Meaning, 1 not clear or distinct, hazy. 2 unable to see or be seen clearly. Examples: do you agree that male and female roles are becoming blurred? The photograph was very blurred. The picture on the TV went all blurry. Jimmy walked to the window and began to look through the blurred glass. To tar with the same brush. Meaning, to unfairly categorize someone or something as being the same as another person or thing, usually in a negative manner. Examples: just because the CEO turned out to be a rotten scoundrel doesn't mean we should tar the entire company with the same brush. There is absolutely a segment of video game enthusiasts who create a hostile and toxic environment online, but tarring all gamers with the same brush does a disservice to the community. Not to have a leg to stand on. Meaning, have no facts or sound reasons to support one's argument or justify one's actions. Examples: now that your alibi has been eliminated, you really don't have a leg to stand on, so it's time to confess. You may think you're in the right, but you don't have a leg to stand on. My lawyer said I didn't have a leg to stand on, so I shouldn't sue the company. Deliberate. Meaning, 1 done consciously and intentionally. 2 careful and unhurried. Examples: this was a deliberate attempt to wreck the peace talks. I don't think his name was left off the list by accident, I think it was deliberate. From her slow, deliberate speech I guessed she must be drunk. She was nevertheless a slow, deliberate worker unable to grasp the newer technologies and easily flustered by changes in routine. Indispensable. Meaning, absolutely necessary, crucial. Examples: few would dispute that mobile phones are an indispensable business tool. International cooperation is indispensable to resolving the problem of the drug trade. The library will have 3 copies of a text considered indispensable to 1,000 students. Stand out from the crowd. Meaning, to be better than or noticeably different from ordinary people or things. Examples: Jane's particular fashion sense makes her stand out from the crowd, but I'm not sure that's always a good thing. They'll be getting hundreds of applications from people with similar experience, so you need to do something to make your resume stand out from the crowd. Give your business a name that fits, and create icons that clearly identify it and help it stand out from the crowd of competitors. Deterrent. Meaning, a thing that is intended to discourage someone from doing something. Examples: they seriously believe that capital punishment is a deterrent. Tougher prison sentences may act/serve as a deterrent to other would-be offenders. I should think the smell of her breath must act as a deterrent to any man. Think twice. Meaning, to reconsider, be cautious about, or thoroughly contemplate something before committing to it. Examples: you should think twice before quitting your job. That's a serious decision. I'm going to sue them for everything they're worth. Maybe then they'll think twice about trying to steal my ideas. We should think twice about investing so much money in a project we know so little about. Think highly of / think a lot of. Meaning, to admire and respect someone a lot. Examples: the two guys are friends of ours and we think highly of them, so it was disappointing to see our mates left out like that. Our last boss thinks very a lot of you, judging from the reference letter she wrote for you. Somehow I doubt the mayor will think too a lot of an article exposing all of his financial details. Blessing in disguise. Meaning, an apparent misfortune that eventually has good results. Examples: running late for work turned out to be a blessing in disguise. I would have been in the middle of that big multi-car pileup had I left the house on time. Tony's motorcycle accident was a blessing in disguise, because he got enough insurance money from the other driver to make a down payment on a house. Dad's illness was a blessing in disguise, it brought the family together for the first time in years. Be bound to. Meaning, be certain or destined to, also, be determined or resolved to. Examples: we all thought that Doug was bound to be an artist, so we were very surprised when he became a trader on Wall Street. A. Do you think it will rain today? B. It hasn't rained for weeks, so it's bound to. The kids are out late, so of course she's bound to worry. So-called. Meaning, one commonly called. Two incorrectly or falsely termed. Examples: my so-called friend has stolen my girlfriend. It's fairly shocking when a so-called developed country can't even provide homes for all its citizens. This so-called charity has robbed thousands of poor people of their money. And this is one of the so-called privileges of working for this company. Going/getting nowhere. Meaning, to fail to achieve something, or to fail to be successful. Examples: the talks are going nowhere, no progress is being made. For 5 days he toiled on at overdue, going nowhere, seeing nobody, and eating meagerly. I finished it because I thought we were going nowhere, but I now realize I'm still in love with him. Uncharted territory/water. Meaning, an activity or subject that people do not know anything about or have not experienced before. Examples: we're starting to get into uncharted waters exploiting these tax loopholes. As I opened up the computer to try and fix the problem, I realized that I was getting into completely uncharted waters and decided to leave it to the experts. We're in uncharted waters, which make earnings harder than usual to predict. Black mark. Meaning, a note or record of a person's misdemeanor or discreditable action. Examples: a black mark went down against his name for turning down the job. Jerry's speeding ticket was a black mark on his driving record that prevented him from getting a job as a delivery man. Any complaints to the boss and you got a black mark straight away. See the light. Meaning, understand or realize something after prolonged thought or doubt. Examples: he suddenly saw the light and realized he was going nowhere with United. Tutoring helped me see the light about these physics equations. I used to wonder why people disliked Lydia, but I started seeing the light after I overheard her making fun of me. Join forces. Meaning, to work together with someone else in order to achieve something. To combine efforts. Examples: teachers joined forces with parents to prepare the hall for the school play. Individuals and organizations have joined forces to provide fundraising facilities. If you were really great, really true to yourself, you would join forces with Leach and Johnson. Minefield meaning, 1. An area planted with explosive mines. 2. A subject or situation presenting unseen hazards. Examples: the sergeant crawled through a minefield to rescue 2 badly injured boys. We are also marking minefields, removing mines, and educating people about the threat. The whole subject is a political minefield. The kitchen is a minefield of potential hazards. Causality. Meaning, the principle that there is a cause for everything that happens. Examples: it was reserved for the greatest of modern philosophers to reveal to the world that causality is a condition, and a necessary condition, of thought. Whatever it shows is controlled by the same laws of causality which govern nature. Seeing and thinking express the freedom and the causality behind all things. Pull rank, on. Meaning, to use one's higher position to gain an advantage. Examples: when she couldn't get her way politely, she pulled rank and got some action. Even though I'm the boss, I try not to pull rank. I like to let everyone have a say in how things are done. Whenever new assignments come up, Tom always pulls rank on us and picks the best one for himself. Take/get the flack. Meaning, to receive a lot of criticism, judgment, or teasing. Examples: why do I always get the flack when something goes wrong around here? Because I'm in a family full of surgeons, I get a lot of flack for my career in the arts. She makes decisions quickly and doesn't take any flack from the contractors who share her world. Tip of the iceberg. Meaning, a hint or suggestion of a much larger or more complex issue or problem. Examples: as with many injuries, the damage we can see is only the tip of the iceberg. The money missing from petty cash was only the tip of the iceberg of financial mismanagement. The flooding is bad, but we're dealing with just the tip of the iceberg. A huge spate of environmental disasters are on the horizon because of climate change. Drop in the ocean. Meaning, a very small amount that will not have much effect. Examples: I'm glad Tony started repaying the money he borrowed from me, but the $5 he gave me yesterday is just a drop in the ocean compared to what he still owes. $10 million is only a drop in the ocean compared to what is needed. Her cry was only a single drop in the ocean compared to the billions of tears shed by mourners after the war. Clip one's wings. Meaning, to restrict one's freedom, power, or full potential. Examples: the boss is always trying to clip my wings and micromanage me. The kids need to be able to explore the world around them. Don't clip their wings. You had better learn to get home on time, or I will clip your wings. Race against the clock/time. Meaning, noun/verb, to act quickly to accomplish something in a short amount of time. Examples: it's a race against time to get the building finished before the rainy season sets in. After getting a flat tire, it was a race against the clock to make it to the airport in time. Jen's going to have to race against the clock if she wants to get her story in tomorrow's newspaper. It's almost time to send it to the publisher. Countdown. Meaning, the counting backward allowed from an arbitrary starting number to indicate the time remaining before an event or operation. Examples: the countdown to Tuesday's primary elections has begun. Alan Shepard sat impatiently in the claustrophobic contraption, waiting for the countdown to rocket him into outer space atop a 30-ton missile. The countdown to the semi-finals and finals are almost here. Have you booked your tickets? Tie the knot. Meaning, to get married. Examples: all of my friends have tied the knot and started having kids. John and Mary are tying the knot this summer in France. The couple tied the knot last year after a 13-year romance. Len tied the knot with Kate 5 years ago. Make a mountain out of a molehill. Meaning, exaggerate the importance of something trivial. Examples: you're making a mountain out of a molehill. You wrote one bad essay, it doesn't mean you're going to fail. This is a minor setback. Let's not make a mountain out of a molehill. The company's CEO has blamed the media for making a mountain out of a molehill. Be blown away. Meaning, one to be thoroughly impressed, overwhelmed, or excited by something. 2 dead, killed. Examples: I am blown away by the show of support from everyone. I was blown away by how good that movie was. 4 of the mob were already blown away when the cops got there. 2 guys were blown away in your building tonight, and you don't know anything about it. Blow away. Meaning, one of the wind, to blow someone or something away from its current location. 2 to defeat an opponent easily and/or by a wide margin. Examples: our trash cans were blown away in that bad storm. I was almost blown away on my walk to the library because it's so windy out. The final score was 17-1. Wow, we really blew that team away. I have a feeling the top-ranked team is just going to blow away any opponent they face. The visiting soccer team was much better than our team and easily blew us away. Blow up. Meaning, 1. To explode. 2. To inflate or exaggerate. 3. When a storm blows up, it begins. Examples: our poor dog is hiding under the bed because our neighbors celebrate the 4th of July by blowing up tons of fireworks. The bomb might have blown up if the children had tried to move it. Can you help me blow up these balloons for the birthday party? I need to blow up one of my bike tires, it's a little flat right now. The media always blows up reports of celebrity behavior. Blow out. Meaning, 1. To extinguish a flame. 2. Of a tire, to puncture. Examples: make a wish and blow out your birthday candles. The car went into a rubber shredding skid when the front near side tire blew out. I almost lost control of the car when I got a blowout on the highway. Sit on the fence. Meaning, to not make a decision or take a side when presented with 2 or more options or possibilities. Examples: A. Which of the candidates Joan will vote for? B. She's still sitting on the fence. You can't sit on the fence any longer, you need to choose who of these 2 we need to fire. The government has been sitting on the fence about legalizing marijuana for the past several years. Put out. Meaning, 1. Put someone out, cause someone trouble or inconvenience. 2. Cause someone trouble or inconvenience. Examples: it would be lovely to stay with you, but I don't want to put you out. Would it put you out too much to let her visit you for a couple of hours? It took firefighters 3 hours to put the blaze out. Please put that cigarette out. Back to square one. Meaning, back to where one started, with no progress having been made. Examples: negotiations have broken down, and it's back to square one. We'll have to go back to square one if the government pulls our funding on this project. Yet another relationship down the tubes. I guess I'm back to square one yet again. We lost our appeal of the lower court decision, so back to square one. Throw someone a curve ball, meaning, unexpectedly present someone with a challenge or disruption. Examples: Mother Nature threw us a curve ball last winter with record-breaking amounts of snow. Her confidence and fact of the matter answers threw police a curve during their questioning. I had only been reading the textbook instead of going to classes, so a few of the questions on the final exam really threw me a curveball. Bat 1,000. Meaning, be very successful, achieve perfection. Examples: I'm really batting 1,000 this week, I got an A on my exam, I got the lead in the school play, and I won the poetry contest. Their first film, Suture, garnered them serious critical acclaim, and with the deep end, they are now batting 1,000. We're batting 1,000, here, since we got both boys to school with time to spare. Drop the ball. Meaning, make a mistake, mishandle things. Examples: for God's sake don't drop the ball on this, we're relying on you. I think she really dropped the ball when she decided to quit that promising internship. I know I dropped the ball today, I just got swamped at work and completely forgot about picking the kids up from school. Fall off the radar. Meaning, to be ignored or forgotten in favor of something more important, to fall into obscurity or disappear from public view. Examples: Cyndi Lauper was so famous for a while and then she fell off the radar. People don't talk about her anymore. When the economy crashed, many social welfare projects simply fell off the radar. The band had a hugely popular single in the 80s, but they fell off the radar soon afterward. Go the extra mile. Meaning, make a special effort to achieve something. Examples: state regulators will go the extra mile to ensure that this settlement is as investor-friendly as possible. He's a nice guy, always ready to go the extra mile for his friends. I have to say, our lawyer really went the extra mile in making sure every aspect of our case was watertight. Float one's boat. Meaning, if something does not float your boat, you do not enjoy it or want it. When something floats your boat, you like it. Examples: the idea of playing football on a cold winter morning doesn't float my boat. What kind of music floats your boat? A. What do you want for dinner? B. Whatever floats your boat, I'm not even hungry. Big time. Meaning, adverb, if you do something big time, you do it to a great degree. Noun, the state of being famous or successful. Examples: how was the interview? Terrible, I messed up big time. With a little luck we could make this thing work big time. Though she'd been acting for years, it was after her role in last summer's blockbuster that she finally hit the big time. Watertight. Meaning, adjective, 1. Not allowing water to pass in or out. 2. Without flaws or loopholes. Examples: most wooden ships were watertight in harbor, but they all leaked when they got out to sea. To build these structures underwater, the workplace is enclosed by watertight walls. Even if you think you have a watertight contract, some people are just bunkers, or have limitless legal resources. A watertight ban may not be feasible because there are always borderline cases. Dry as dust. Meaning, extremely dull, lacking emotion, expression, or interest. Examples: that lecture on polynomials almost put me to sleep, it was just dry as dust. Conversely, we know professional workers who are themselves dry as dust and make everything they touch dry as dust. Some think the study of English grammar is as dry as dust, probably because they think it is virtually completed. Thick as two short planks. Meaning, very stupid. Examples: he's a very skilled football player but he's as thick as two short planks. Jen's new girlfriend is very nice, but she's as thick as two short planks. There was not a lot to know other than it was packed with loonies who loved to scream and shout, and were as thick as two short planks. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. Meaning, the real value of something can be judged only from practical experience or results and not from appearance or theory. Examples: our analysts think that the marketing campaign will reinvigorate our sales, but the proof of the pudding is in the eating. The mechanic assured us that the engine should work right, but the proof of the pudding will be in the eating. Theory says that this material will produce a superior widget, but the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Face like thunder. Meaning, a face that looks very angry. Examples: he burst into the room with a face like thunder. When I looked up, he had a face like thunder, and I knew that I was in trouble. Mr. Clark had a face like thunder after his assistant's mistake. Black and white. Meaning, adjective, absolutely right or wrong, good or bad, with no grades between them. Examples: my grandmother has very rigid ideas of character and behavior, she sees everything in black and white. Love isn't always black and white, you know. You have to accept that there are many gray areas in relationships. Don't debate me about it. The rules are black and white, and you broke them. Neck and neck. Meaning, extremely close together, at or near an equal level. Usually said of competitors in a race or competition. Examples: we're going to have to wait until the very last votes are tallied. The two athletes have been neck and neck for this entire race. The election is neck and neck. Mary and Anne were neck and neck in the spelling contest. Their scores were tied. Black and blue. Meaning, bruised, either physically or emotionally. Covered in livid bruises. Examples: it's normal to feel black and blue right after you break up with someone. What is that black and blue mark on your leg? I'm probably going to be black and blue after falling down the steps this morning. Wear and tear. Meaning, the process of wearing down or breaking down something by regular use. Examples: driving in freezing weather means lots of wear and tear on your car. I drive carefully and have my car serviced regularly to avoid wear and tear. The insurer will reduce any payout to take into account wear and tear of the item. Bumper to bumper. Meaning, close together and moving slowly. Examples: panic buying caused bumper-to-bumper queues at service stations as motorists queued for up to 6 hours and pumps ran dry. Being a Friday evening, it was bumper-to-bumper on the main road leading out of town. "The traffic is horrible, bumper-to-bumper," he said of the drive between the Oxnard and Los Angeles airports. Hit and miss. Meaning, adjective, sometimes good or successful, sometimes not, having mixed or unpredictable results, random, aimless, careless, or haphazard. Examples: films at the festival were hit and miss, but they were all unique. The company still relies on hit and miss techniques that seem antiquated by today's standards. The tour around the region felt a bit hit and miss, with no clear agenda or plan. Give or take meaning, 1 approximately. 2 apart from. Examples: there were maybe 20 people there, give or take. The structure is thought to be around 2,000 years old, give or take a decade or so. Give or take the occasional argument, my sister and I get along pretty well. We're in Manchester, not Sydney, though on a sunny day the two cities do have a similar feel to them, give or take the odd beach, bridge, harbor, and opera house. Out and about. Meaning, doing things outside from the house especially after an illness. Examples: it's nice to be out and about after being bedridden for so long. Beth has been ill, but now she's out and about. As soon as I feel better, I'll be able to get out and about. All fingers and thumbs. Meaning, be clumsy or awkward in your actions. Examples: Tom could never be a surgeon, he's all fingers and thumbs. Can you sew this button on for me? I'm all fingers and thumbs. She could not undo the string of the parcel, she was all fingers and thumbs. Wax and wane. Meaning, to alternatingly increase, wax, and decrease, wane. To fluctuate a lot. Examples: my fortune has waxed and waned over the years, but I live simply anyway, and it has never affected me much. Voter turnout waxes and wanes depending on which positions are up for election. The level of security that people are psychologically able to accept changes as crisis situations wax and wane. Through and through. Meaning, in every aspect, thoroughly or completely. Examples: I know Elizabeth through and through, and I really doubt that she's mad at you. She's a student through and through, which is why she decided to pursue a doctorate. I've studied this report through and through trying to find the facts you've mentioned. Variety is the spice of life. Meaning, having many different experiences is what makes life interesting, exciting, enjoyable, or worthwhile. Examples: I think everyone should travel the world. Variety is the spice of life, after all. You should really start trying new foods instead of eating the same thing all the time. Variety is the spice of life. It is important to vary the training program so that boredom is avoided. Exercise should be fun and variety is the spice of life. Not the end of the world. Meaning, used for saying that something bad is not really as serious as someone thinks it is. Examples: it would be great if I got this teaching position, but I guess it isn't the end of the world if they pass me over. I've enjoyed my time in international football, but it won't be the end of the world if I'm not selected again. You need to know that it is not the end of the world if it doesn't go your way. Not the only fish in the sea. Meaning, not the only suitable thing, opportunity, or person one can find. Examples: I know you are broken up about Janet leaving you, but she's not the only fish in the sea. I'm pretty disappointed that I didn't get the job, but I'm trying to remind myself it's not the only fish in the sea. Be on the safe side. Meaning, being especially careful in order to avoid something unpleasant. Examples: I made an extra batch of brownies, just to be on the safe side in case we have more guests than we anticipated. To be on the safe side, carry some extra money in your shoe. I like to be on the safe side and stay in my hotel room at night. Spend a penny. Meaning, used euphemistically to refer to a need to urinate. Also, answer the call of nature. Examples: you can't get to sleep when you want to spend a penny. A. Where's Janet? B. She's gone to spend a penny. Do you want to spend a penny before we leave? Wait a minute, I have to go answer the call of nature. A bit on the side. Meaning, 1. A person with whom one is unfaithful to one's partner. 2. Money earned outside one's normal job. Examples, I spotted Harry at the diner with a woman much younger than his wife. I think he's having a bit on the side. We've thought for a while that he was having a bit on the side. My wife has started to earn a bit on the side to help us offset all the extra expenses from the renovation. There is no harm in making a bit on the side as long as you have enough time. Play the field. Meaning, having lots of sexual relationships, without committing oneself to anyone. Examples, all of Joe's friends are married now, but he continues to play the field. Becky's not ready to settle down with one man, she enjoys playing the field too much. I played the field a bit during college, but I prefer having a steady relationship. Have a bun in the oven. Meaning, to be pregnant. Examples, you're having a baby shower for Carla today? Wow, I didn't even know she had a bun in the oven. A. You know how you have a bun in the oven? I stifled a laugh. B. Yes. Yes, I do. It's not going to be easy since so much time has passed and you have a bun in the oven. One's number is up. Meaning, it is one's time to die, suffer, or be punished. Examples, my only wish is that I don't feel any pain when my number is up. This evidence proves that the senator was part of the conspiracy. His number's up this time. When my number is up, I hope it all goes fast. Oblivious. Meaning, adjective, lacking consciousness or awareness of something. Examples, oblivious to the burning smell emanating from the kitchen, my father did not notice that the rolls in the oven were burned until much too late. She became absorbed, oblivious to the passage of time. Absorbed in her work, she was totally oblivious of her surroundings. The mayor seems oblivious to the likely effects of the new legislation. Ignorance is bliss. Meaning, not knowing is better than knowing and worrying. Examples, sometimes I just decide to ignore the news for a few days. Ignorance is bliss. When it comes to what my kids end up eating at their grandparents' house, ignorance is bliss. A. I never knew that the kid who mows our lawn has been in trouble with the police. B. Ignorance is bliss. Nuance. Meaning, a slight variation in meaning, tone, expression. Examples, the nuances of the poem were not obvious to the casual reader, but the teacher was able to point them out. Actors have to study the nuances of facial expression to show the whole range of emotions. The painter has managed to capture every nuance of the woman's expression. Linguists explore the nuances of language. Good riddance. Meaning, said to express relief at being free of an unwanted person or thing. Examples, our neighbors and their nasty dogs have moved out. Good riddance. Well, I didn't want to talk to you anyway, so good riddance. A. Did you hear that Janet broke up with her boyfriend? B. Good riddance to bad rubbish. That deadbeat was really dragging her down. Check your progress. 12.